Hello and welcome to the last episode of Curly's Trading Blueprint. I said I would record it in the corner of the room where we've been recording all the other videos, and the reason for that is very simple. I didn't want to go, let's say, to the top of the building and record the good skyscraper view or record it in a Bali villa. What I wanted to do is be authentic and genuine about where you probably are in your life or in your day trading journey. If you're watching this series, the harsh reality is you're probably in a situation you don't want to be in. You want to learn to trade, you want to learn to make money trading, and you want to be able to escape the life you're in, to maybe go travel, to maybe move to Bali, to move wherever it be, get some sort of financial or location freedom. So I wanted to record this video and show you the reality that I was there as well. Thankfully, I have learned a strategy, been able to make money doing it. I'm able to make money now trading and teaching people to trade. I'm going to be honest, I make money from trading, and that is most of my income, if I'm being honest right now, is trading. But I do make some money teaching people to trade, and that's the reality of the situation. I'm going to always be open, honest with the people that watch me, but I've been able to put myself in that position because I'm able to trade, I'm able to make money online, and that is what you want to do, and that is the skill you want to learn to be able to move to Bali and them sort of places. So I wanted to really show that you can do it. Like, I was able to pull myself out of middle of Ireland, having €500 in my bank account, not having anything going for me, not knowing what a fair value gap was, not being able to walk straight, as I talked about in the first video, being sick in a hospital bed, and then being sick in my room for 2 months. To show you, I went from that to being able to live and move around the world. And for some people, have location and some sort of financial freedom. Obviously, I have location freedom. Obviously, don't have as much financial as I would like. But we're never going to have enough, are we? We're never going to have enough money. Even when you're doing 6-7 figure months, it's just never going to be enough. You'll always want the 8 or whatever it might be. But that's the reality. That's the reality of life. But I wanted to really zone in on, you know now what to do on the chart. You know continuation, reversal trades, you know about internal to external liquidity, you know entry models, and you know draws and liquidity, you know key areas to tap into, you know the trades we take. Now it's about going and executing. Follow me as well on TikTok and Instagram. This isn't just shouting out my stuff, but then I post my trade every single day if I win, lose, or get a break even. You can go then, if you've been trading that session or studying why I took the trade. Obviously, if you're watching this, it's probably a bit late. I do have a kind of VIP. It's called the TPC, the private corner. That's a paid section where I'm teaching people how to trade, and I put all my trade recaps in there in detail. So if you want to get involved in that, fire ahead. But as I've said, there's enough free content going to be on YouTube. Whether this video you're watching it 2 days after it's uploaded, 2 hours, or 2 years, there will be free content on my YouTube channel about day trade. I can promise you that I will not stop doing free content to help people trade, because I want to impact as many people's lives with how I trade and be able to be an inspiration to people, to hopefully they do something similar that I did, if not go on a level, and hopefully in 2 or 3 years I'll be on another few levels as well, as we're all hoping to be. But I want to just mention, remember, this is where I will go from here, as I talked about. You now know a strategy. What you need to do now is to get as much free content as I put up and consume as possible. Again, I'm not trying to shout out my stuff, but the reality is you watch this series, so it's better just to follow how I trade and then learn that for yourself. Instead, try and make a new model. Make sense? So go look at my recaps, journal them for yourselves in your Notion or in your journaling software that we talked about. Remember, there's free ones or you can get the paid ones. Then go back, test for yourself. Go back and put in the hours. Figuring out the draws and liquidity you want to target. Finding the good inversions. Finding the good key areas we've tapped into. Finding all these things that I've talked about through the videos to help you take good quality stops. Make sure you know all the confluences. You should know them by now, but again, re-go over them. You can watch the videos on YouTube as many times as you want. A benefit to YouTube. You can go and look at every single video over and over again until you get in your head exactly how we trade. What I would do now is I would write down the key areas I've tapped into, the key areas you can tap into to take positions, so SMT, fair value gaps, all these things, with examples in, as I've said, a Notion or journal and template. Then your draws on liquidity you want to target. I've given you 3 or 4. If you go through my other videos, you will find the other ones. I show them in trades. And then you want to obviously have the good inversions with momentum. I'm sure you know what they are by now if you've started backtesting, if you start looking for yourself. But you know what I mean, that you can go and start putting the trades together. That is the split I would do. I would have draws and liquidity, key areas we can tap into, and inversions with momentum. And then you can go and put the trades together and backtesting and journaling. And that is where you build confidence in the model. And then you bring it to demo trading, to funded accounts, evals, and then on to funded accounts and go from there. Obviously, when you start passing accounts and when you start getting payouts and so on, you don't need me anymore. That is where you're off. You know the system. You just need to get consistency in your trading. And remember, psychology is 80% of trading. I've given you a strategy now that you just have to go learn. But now the key is you have to implement it and do the right things on the chart to wait for them good steps. Have the patience. And as we've talked about more so in the start videos, keep that purpose at the forefront of your mind. Why are you doing this? Why are you not going to do the wrong things on the chart? Because you have a bigger purpose. Because you want that location freedom. Would someone that wanted to be a full-time day trader over risk or take 4 or 5 steps in a day if it's not in their model? No. They won't do them things. So why are you going to do it from the start? Even when you're demo trading. Think like a profitable full-time day trader. Think like you are in the position you are. How I got to the position I'm in, and don't get me wrong, I'm not in the greatest position in the world. I do have location freedom. Obviously, I don't worry too much about money these days, thankfully. But I'm still not exactly where I want to be. But how I got to where I am currently was manifesting exactly where I wanted to be. That law of attraction, thinking I want to be this person, so I'm going to act like this person before I'm this person. When I was in my car driving to the gym, literally, this is like 12, 14 months ago, when I was driving to the gym after trading, maybe after winning a trade out there, whatever, I was manifesting being in Bangkok or being in Bali or being with full-time day traders, doing this full-time, teaching people how to trade, making money myself, helping others. That was what I wanted to do. I manifest it in my brain every single day, and you could not tell me otherwise. Manifestation and the law of attraction is unbelievable for getting to your goals. I'm not going to say who, but an Irish MMA fighter, whoever, whatever, okay, you know who it is. And there's only basically, well, there's 2 now actually, Paul Hughes, but the other one, the biggest one, he did loads of videos on law of attraction. This is before he before he became UFC star, whatever. He has some videos on law of attraction and they changed my life. Them videos are crazy before he went crazy. Them videos are crazy good on how he was delusional about, he says, for example, and how I got that driving to the gym and thinking where I want to be was, he said he was driving down the road in wherever, somewhere in Dublin, and he was imagining being in a Rolls Royce driving through Los Angeles or something like that. And then 3 or 4 years later, he did it. And that was my thought. If I can imagine me being here, and then that is where I can get to if I put in the work. Then I imagined, obviously, driving whatever, some sort of car, my dream car, whatever it is. Haven't got to that yet, gonna be honest. Don't have the dream stuff, I'm nowhere near that yet, but you get what I mean. That I'm going to get that, and I'm convinced I'm going to get that because of the law of attraction, because in my brain I know I'm going to get it and know what's going to happen, because I'm going to work extremely hard to get it. And that's the type of delusion and focus you need to have, and thinking you need to have every single day to be able to put in the work to get this dream you want to get done. And again, there is not enough time you can spend backtesting, looking at market structure, understanding different things outside your trading, especially when you're learning, or inside your trading, especially when you're learning. For example, if the period you're in now, you're trying to figure out the strategy, figure out draws and liquidity, you cannot get comfortable enough with your draws and liquidity, with your key areas we can tap into. You can speed up your process by months by putting in extra hours, figuring out the key draws and liquidity, having them down, only targeting them, see how price reacts off them, see if we expand all this, we push to the upside, see when we come down, the key areas we tap into before going long or continue going down. If you figure that out every day, understand market structure, understand where the market wants to go, then that is where you will see so much success in your trading. Because when you figure out where the market wants to go, you just need to get an entry. And how is that going to happen? By time on the charts and obviously knowing your draws and liquidity. That is the start of this strategy. I'm going to leave it there. From here, please keep putting in the work. You've watched a 15 episode series. It's only been 2.5 hours of me giving info. Again, go through all my recaps, go through everything I have on YouTube, even what other people have for draws and liquidity and stuff. Not that I'm the god of trading and know it all, do you know what I mean? But if you watch this series, you obviously have some respect for how I like to trade. So go through my stuff, my other content, and go from there. I have some free stuff as well on my free Discord, as I've said. Join that. I obviously have the paid section. You don't need to come into that. You can definitely, from the free content I'm giving out, make profitability in trade and become profitable. I didn't pay for any education when I started trading. It did take me longer to understand the process because I didn't have a mentor and stuff, but it can be done. It's just going to take more hours and more work. Hope that's okay with everybody. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Hopefully I'll reply to as many as I can. And that is it. Thank you for joining this series. Thank you for supporting me. And I genuinely wish you the best of luck in your trade. And I hope you have ultimate success in day trading and you achieve everything you want, because you're not going to quit and the universe has to give it to you if you keep going towards your goals. I'll see you not in the next episode, but hopefully I'll see you on my social media and on my next YouTube video. Peace out. Thanks for joining the series. Peace out.